Hello, welcome to Goodnight Flagstaff. I'm Tammy Rauschenbach, the ESL teacher at Mount Eldon Middle School and a longtime reader for Goodnight Flagstaff, but today I'm reading with a couple of friends, as I like to do. Thank you for tuning in to our community story time. You can find a new chapter from one of our favorite family-friendly books at 8 p.m. each weeknight on the Literacy Center's YouTube channel and on Crater Radio, a local online radio station. The previous chapter is replayed on Crater Radio each weeknight at about 7:45, just before the new chapter airs. You can also listen to all previous Goodnight Flagstaff recordings on YouTube. We are currently reading Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. If you'd like to check it out to read along with us at home, it is available in the Hoopla app with your Coconino County Library card. Check one out today. Please email us if you'd like to join our team of readers and connect with your community through stories. All ages welcome. Our email is goodnightflagstaff@gmail.com. Last time we read together, Nizhoni's dad picks her up from school. He doesn't take them for froyos because they're supposed to have dinner with his new boss. On the way home, Nizhoni tells her brother Mac about the monster she saw, and when they arrived at the house, the monster, her dad's new boss, was waiting for them. Chapter 4, Remain Calm.
What do we do?
Max squeaks. I'm not sure, but I do know one thing.
We remain calm. We have the upper hand right now.
How do you figure?
He won't want to blow his cover in front of Dad, right? So as long as we play it cool...
I glance over at Mac. His expression reminds me of that time we went to the amusement park and he insisted on riding the Cyclone right after he'd eaten the 3 chili dogs. Part super excited, part terrified, and part ready to barf.
I said play it cool, Mac. C-O-O-L. Right now, you look decidedly uncool.
I'm trying,
he says. He takes a few deep breaths, nervously shuffling the ice pack between his hands. Dad is eagerly waving us over.
We better go,
I say.
Dad's waiting.
He's gonna want us to shake hands,
Mac reminds me. Dad always wants us to shake hands with everyone. Once we went to this honoring ceremony for Native American veterans. There were at least 30 of them there from all different tribal nations, and Mac and I had to walk the entire line and shake every single hand. I was really annoyed at first because I was hungry and everyone knows that elders get to eat first, so it was going to take forever. But then it turned out to be kind of cool to meet all those people and see their medals up close. One grandpa had even been a Navajo code talker in World War II. I think he must have heard my stomach growling because he slipped me a chocolate chip cookie on the sly. I was so grateful, and ever since then, I haven't minded shaking hands so much. However, this time I mind a lot.
No way I'm touching a monster,
I protest.
What else can we do? Run for it?
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I sigh.
Come on, I've got an idea. Just follow my lead, okay? And whatever you do, don't touch him.
I don't know much about monsters, but it seems like common sense. Who knows what could happen? They could slime on you, suck out your soul, eat your eyeballs. The terrible possibilities are endless. We get out of the car together and walk slowly over to Dad, Mr. Charles, and the 2 bodyguards in white. I see Dad focus on us and his eyebrows shoot up. Looks like he's finally noticed my bloody shirt and Mac's black eye. But he doesn't have time to say anything before Mr. Charles speaks.
So, this must be Nizhoni and Marcus,
Mr. Charles says enthusiastically, giving us an oversized grin.
But holy heck, what happened to y'all? You both look like you've been wrestling longhorns.
Despite his fancy suit, he's got a twangy accent that shouts, "Aw, shucks," and "gee whiz," like a fake cowboy in an old movie. I don't trust it.
Sports injury.
I narrow my eyes at Mr. Charles and wait to see if he says anything. After all, he was there. But he doesn't let on that he knows, and it's hard to figure out what he's thinking behind those sunglasses. His face is just politely curious, and maybe a little grossed out. What kind of monster gets faint at the sight of blood?
Well, shoot. Sorry about that, but it looks like you survived.
says Mr. Charles.
Nice to meet you both.
He thrusts his right hand in front of me. It looks perfectly normal, but I remind myself that it's not, that this is a disguise. Underneath that perfectly normal-looking skin is something truly awful, something scaly or tentacly or...
Better not.
I say, trying to sound regretful. I hold up my hand and wiggle my fingers. Thankfully, there's still some blood underneath my nails and dried bits flaking off my palm, so I have the ideal excuse.
Go get cleaned up, Nizhoni.
Dad says, gesturing to the front door. He nudges Mac to shake hands.
My hands are full.
Mac says. He clutches his iPad closer to his chest, eyes wide.
Sorry. Don't be ridiculous.
Dad says, and takes his iPad away. And just like that, Mac runs out of excuses. I gulp, worried, and watch as Mac reluctantly reaches out and shakes Mr. Charles's hand. I squeeze my eyes shut, shoulders tense, and wait for Mac to scream in pain, or freeze and fall over, or for his eyes to flash green for him to start talking in a robot voice, hypnotized by Mr. Charles's touch. But when I open my eyes, nothing happens. Charles lets go, and then Mac moves over and shakes hands with the two bodyguards. First the man, who introduces himself as Mr. Rock, and then the woman, who says her name is Ms. Bird. And nothing weird or scary happens. Nothing at all. Well, besides Mac looking back at me over his shoulder and giving me a huge thumbs up.
What happened to playing it cool?
I mutter under my breath.
Hurry up and get ready, Nizhoni.
Dad says.
And put on something nice. Mr. Charles is taking us to the Pasta Palace for dinner.
Did I hear that right? The monster is taking us to my favorite restaurant for dinner? Is that even allowed? Behind me, I hear Mac ask the woman bodyguard.
Is that a real gun? Can I see it?
And now I am thoroughly confused. I still have that feeling that makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, but Mr. Charles hasn't done anything that would make me think he was evil. Was I wrong about him being a monster? Was I wrong about Dad and Mac being in danger? Was I wrong about everything? Your readers tonight have been
Jill Valencia
my sister,
as Nizhoni and Mr. Charles.
Joe Rauschenbach
my husband,
as Mac and Daddy, or the Mac Daddy.
and of course me, Tammy Rauschenbach, as the narrator. Thank you for tuning in. Join us next time for Chapter 5 of Race to the Sun. Good night, Flagstaff.